All right. Welcome everybody to the stream. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I had a good one with my family. So I was hosted by my in-laws, where we had lots of great food. Um, I definitely partook in some food that I don't normally partake in, which was good. I had some mac and cheese that my wife made from scratch. I had some mashed potatoes, which I'll eat those from time to time, but not very often. I had three helpings of dessert. That was probably the biggest off the rails thing I did, but I haven't had dessert in a very long time. Dessert, like from the traditional sense. For example, I haven't had real ice cream in probably 8 months. So, so I had some pecan pie that my wife made. I had a little piece of that, and then I had a couple of these pecan butterscotch treats that my sister-in-law made that were very, very good. So, lots of great food. Um, and I've been off work for about a week now, and that's been good. Just trying to recoup and regenerate before the sprint until Christmas. So yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Um, from a health perspective, things are good. My weight is ticking up, but I've also increased calories quite a bit. Um, I yeah, I increased my calories probably about to 200 to 300 per day, and I'm seeing a pretty decent uptick in weight. Um, I I think it's from the calories. I also think it's from not taking Retatrutide for 3 weeks now. I've been off, um, so I'm sure that's probably coming into account. Plus, I'm doing a little bit less intense cardio on the stair climber, and mainly for that, because of that, or the reason for that is because leg recovery has just been pretty tough. I've been training pretty hard, legs pretty hard, so uh, it's been tough. So good morning, morning, mom. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so things have been good. So kind of an interesting thing I've been experimenting with lately. Let me just kind of switch over to sharing my screen here. So I've talked a little bit about this in previous shows, so I'll just kind of talk about it again here. Basically, I've been having problems with sleep. Basically, I can't get more than 6 hours, it seems like. I've tried tweaking my sleep stack. I've tried going to bed a little later, going to bed a little earlier. It just seems like 6.5 hours is what I'm locked into getting, and I've been trying to make that better. I've been trying to stretch that to 7, hopefully 8, but unfortunately, haven't been successful. Um, so I tried a couple things. I tried typically melatonin. I don't have a problem going to sleep, so I haven't been a big melatonin taker. So I tried a bulbous dose of melatonin, about 20 milligrams, and that didn't seem to make an effect. I mean, while it helped with some of the night wake ups, I still was waking up at the 5-ish, 6.5 hour mark. So not much progress there. The biggest progress I made was I took 4 Benadryl, which is 100 milligrams of Benadryl, and I slept, I think, 8 hours the first night that I took it. I felt a little or pretty groggy the next day. I felt kind of terrible. My skin was kind of flushing, which I think is pretty normal for a large dose of Benadryl like that or antihistamine like that. But the next night, I got 9 hours of sleep. So that was interesting. And I felt great yesterday. So that was the last 2 days. But then today, again, 6.5 hours. I woke up at 5, couldn't go back to sleep. So we're kind of back to the 5 hours again. So something about that Benadryl. I'll have to kind of do some research around histamine. Maybe there's some histamine thing happening with me that's causing my shorter sleep. I'm not sure. So that's something to check into. One thing that I think is pretty interesting is my heart rate is starting to return to normal. And I've talked a little bit about this in previous episodes, but the Retatrutide seemed to increase my heart rate pretty substantially. So I started taking Retatrutide around September 13th. And you can see on September 14th, my resting heart rate was about 59. And that's pretty normal. It was kind of going a little bit up, but I was also gaining a little bit of weight here. So that probably corresponds. But, I was in the low 50s to mid 50s for a while. But you see, like, as I kept taking Retatrutide, my heart rate kept going up and up and up and up. I administered my last dose of Retatrutide on November 8th. So this was about right here. Notice that it's starting to come back down again. So my resting heart rate is starting to drop, and I'm waiting to see if maybe this has something to do with why my sleep is short. So I'm waiting for this to come a little bit back down. I think it'll take a couple more weeks for the Retatrutide to get out of my system. I think it takes about 3 or 4 weeks to truly get out. And so if you take the week that I injected November 8th, you add a week or about 6 days. That's the half-life. So that's November 14th. It's the 19th, so it's been 15 days. So it's been 2 weeks and a day. So we'll keep seeing this go down. But what I thought was really interesting was my HRV numbers were really interesting. So if you look here, over the last 4 weeks, if you look at what my HRV had been doing since I started taking Retatrutide, it was kind of bad before, but I was also in an extreme kind of dieting situation here. But you can see it kind of started nosediving here, all the while I was taking Retatrutide. So basically my heart rate variability, or the time between the two beats of my heart, was getting shorter and shorter. But notice now, so while I'm on Retatrutide, kind of goes up and down a little bit. I was adjusting dosages, so that might have something to do with that. But check this out. So remember, I stopped taking it on the 8th. It kind of leveled off, kind of went down a little bit, but it's on the upswing now. So definitely, I can say that Retatrutide for sure was affecting my HRV. It was affecting my heart rate. So one theory that I have is it might be affecting my sleep. So we'll see if now, one thing to note is like if we look at sleep over the last year, you'll notice, a big dip here in late September when I was on Retatrutide. It kind of went back up. It came back down, and now it's trending back up. So, and I've kind of had this, but what's different now is I'm not dieting, right? So here, as it was starting to tank, I was getting deep into dieting here. So I expected my sleep to get worse while I was dieting, but it got pretty bad here while I was on Retatrutide. So we'll see. We'll see what happens whenever it cycles out. But that HRV data was pretty substantial. I was pretty shocked by that trend here. And I did see in some of the study results of the clinical pre-trials that they're having for Retatrutide, there are people that are reporting that their heart rate is increasing and their HRV is worsening. But, as far as like long-term health effects, don't know, right? And a lot of the folks that were on Retatrutide needed to lose a ton of weight. So the offset of, glucose management, weight coming off, visceral fat coming off, etc., probably outdoes like any negative damage that they're getting from sleep impact, more than likely. So anyway, all interesting data. We'll kind of see where this goes. I'm not planning on getting back on Retatrutide. My weight is trending up, like I mentioned. So if we look at the last year, I started my my diet on April 14th, my birthday. I started at 185 pounds was a high, got all the way down to 160 pounds, and I've been kind of on a trajectory to gain weight a little bit over time. There's that normal jump that happens. This is when I was carbing up for my DEXA scan because I was totally depleted here. I wasn't eating any carbs, so I had like no muscle glycogen, so I was really light right here. I started to carb up here, and then, I started to kind of eat. I had a couple of days where I lost my mind, ate quite a bit, And then, it kind of leveled off while I was kind of trying to keep a consistent weight, which I did a pretty good job there, from September 7th at an average of 167 pounds to October 12th. That's a month. It's 168 pounds. So I only gained a pound over average over a month period, which I think is pretty good. But you can see here in November, I've started to increase my calories, and I've also gotten off Retatrutide. So I'm sure that's probably contributing to this pretty decent spike. So I'll just kind of keep watching this. I think I'm about 174 pounds right now. I think that average is about right. So quite a bit heavier, than my about 10 pounds over where I was on my DEXA scan on the 15th. So after 3 months, that's not bad. 10 pounds is not bad. I want to try to gain anywhere between 0.5 to 0.8 pounds a week, and right now I'm a little bit higher than that right now. So I kind of have to. I'm just gonna kind of have to watch that a little bit. I think it's funny that the scale that I have thinks my body fat is 22%. It's definitely not 22%. I can still see abs, so it's not. But yeah, it thinks that I'm I'm a little on the heavy side. But yeah, you can kind of see, like, even at August 15th, when I got my DEXA scan that said I was 7.1% body fat, it still thought I was 19%. So that goes to show you kind of what we all know, is that the scales that use the electric signals in your body, conductive signals in your body to guess body mass are very wrong. Yeah. So it also was showing me losing a ton of muscle, which I don't think I lost a lot of muscle, to be honest. I think most of this was just water. But anyway. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm still troubleshooting the dopamine stuff. I still do feel like I've got some dopamine negative effects happening. I think that's from the SSRIs that I'm on, but I'm also on Wellbutrin, which is supposed to help with dopamine, but I don't know. Like, it just seems like my dopamine is still not great. Very moody still. Trying to kind of figure all that out. I'm gonna get blood tests next week to check my hormone levels, my lipids, blood glucose, hematocrit. Those types of things we're gonna take a look at. Which I'm very curious to see those, because I'm currently kind of in a push phase where I'm pushing weight up. I'm pushing calories up, and I'm also pushing some of my dosages of my testosterone, et cetera, up. So we'll see where that all shakes out from a hematocrit perspective and go from there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. That's kind of the update I have. I'm going to do some more research into the histamine stuff, so I will kind of check back in on that next Saturday. We don't have any more soccer games for the kids, so I should be able to do the show pretty more regularly every Saturday. It's been great being off. I've been going to different gyms around the DFW area. So I went to Absolute Recomp in Fort Worth. That's a really nice gym. I like that gym quite a bit. They have all the equipment that you could ever want. This is a picture of the place. I mean, it is ridiculously nice. I would be very spoiled if this was the gym that I go to all the time. There's just a ridiculous amount of equipment and top tier stuff like Panada, Prime, New Tech, all those things. So great stuff there. The other one that I went to, this was a haul for me. But I went up to kind of the North Fort Worth area to this Fox Fitness. I had heard that a coach and IFBB Pro works out here, so I decided to go check it out. I didn't see him there, unfortunately, but I did want to just kind of go out there and see if he'd be there. But I had a great time, lots of great equipment, but too far for me to go normally. It was about an hour drive each way. With a lot of tolls. So won't be going there probably again, but yeah, you never know. Maybe if I'm in the area again, I might go, but definitely Absolute Recomp. I bought some passes, so I'll probably go tomorrow. Um, but I've gone 3 times now this week, and so I'm enjoying that. It takes about 30 minutes to get there on decent traffic, but on work days and stuff, that traffic would probably be brutal, and I wouldn't be able to go. So anyway, so that is it from my perspective. That's kind of what I've been up to. Any questions before I'm going to close this one a little bit earlier. I am feeling a little tired. After Thanksgiving feast, I kept my calories under 4,000, which I was pretty proud of. I think I kept them around 3,700 calories, which is a little high for me, but well within reasonable range. But it was a rest day, and I usually try to keep calories around 3,000, 3,100 on rest days. So that is a little high for a rest day where I don't do a lot of steps. I don't do any cardio. So the next morning I did do cardio. I did the stairs, which really kicked my butt. With the added 10 pounds, the stairs, I definitely got my heart rate going that time. So I did them for 10 minutes, and that whole 10 minutes, my heart rate was over 140. So I try to keep the conditioning minutes over 140 to be about 10 minutes per session. Not looking to blow out any, leg muscles or anything like that, or put myself in catabolism where I lose muscle. So just trying to keep things kind of tidy, keep the heart going while I'm putting on a little bit of weight. But yeah, I'm paying for it today. My legs are pretty sore. So I did the bike today for about 10 minutes, just kind of, pedaling along, kept the heart about 100, 110, no big deal. And then I did some walking for a mile. But I can tell you, I'm probably going to go to bed after this. I'm feeling a little tired. I'm just going to lay down for a little while. But yeah, I think that's it. So hope everybody's doing great. Like I said, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. If you like the kind of stuff that I'm putting out, feel free to subscribe and like this video. That always helps with the algorithm, helps other people find the channel. So I appreciate any of that. But other than that, on your weight loss journey, keep up the great work. I know you can do it. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.